Trick your brain and love public speaking. Conquer fear on the stage. Imagine standing backstage, your heart drumming a frantic rhythm against your ribs. Your palms are damp, your thoughts are racing, and a voice in your head whispers that you should run. Now, imagine something extraordinary. What if every single one of those sensations is not your enemy, but a hidden ally? This book is built on a revolutionary idea that flips the script on everything you believe about public speaking. Your nervous energy is not a sign of weakness. It is raw, untapped power waiting to be directed. Your brain is simply trying to protect you, using ancient wiring that once watched for lions in the tall grass. Today, the lion is just a room full of people hoping you will succeed. We will learn to thank that protective instinct for its care, and then gently show it there is no real danger here. This journey is not about becoming a different person who is magically fearless. It is about uncovering the confident, compelling speaker who already lives within you, hidden beneath layers of doubt and old stories. You are about to learn not just to survive your next speech, but to step into a version of yourself who genuinely enjoys the spotlight. Think of this book as your friendly, practical guide to rewiring your brain's first instincts. We are going to use simple, clever tricks that calm your nerves and unlock a natural sense of excitement. Each chapter is a new step, moving from understanding your fear to building an unshakable foundation, to finally walking on stage with eager anticipation. Forget boring lectures and complex theories. We will use stories, easy exercises, and mindset shifts that actually work in real life. You will discover how to find passion in any topic, structure a talk so simply you cannot get lost, and practice in ways that feel fun, not frightening. By the end, you will have a collection of tools and a new belief that speaking up is not a terrifying test but a thrilling chance to connect and share your ideas. So, take a deep breath and turn the page. Your journey from dread to delight starts right now. Chapter 1. The lion is just the spotlight, understanding your fear. Your heart pounds, your mouth goes dry, and your muscles tense, ready for action. This intense reaction feels deeply personal, as if your body is betraying you right before you speak. In truth, this is not a personal flaw at all. It is a brilliant, ancient survival system kicking into high gear. Your brain's number one job is to keep you safe from threats, and it has a special alarm bell called the amygdala. This almond-shaped part of your brain scans for danger constantly, and it views unfamiliar social situations as potential threats. Standing in front of a crowd, being the center of attention, triggers this primal alarm because, thousands of years ago, being stared at by many eyes often meant trouble. Your brain is simply doing its job with incredible efficiency, flooding your body with adrenaline and cortisol to help you fight or flee. The problem is not your brain's response. The problem is its outdated interpretation of a modern scenario. There is no physical danger in a conference room or on a stage, but your loyal amygdala has not received that memo yet. So we must start by separating the real from the imagined. Real danger is something that can cause you physical harm, like a speeding car or a fire. Stage danger is the fear of being judged, forgetting your words, or feeling embarrassed. These are psychological fears, not physical threats, and that is a crucial distinction. Your brain treats them the same, but you have the power to gently correct this mix-up. The first step is to acknowledge the feeling without letting it take the steering wheel. You can say to yourself, "Thank you, brain, for trying to protect me. I appreciate the alert, but we are safe here." This simple act of nomming and thanking your fear begins to create space between the feeling and your reaction to it. It moves the fear from being a controller in the driver's seat to a passenger you notice in the back. This space is where your power lies. It is the gap where you can choose a different response. Now let's look at what this surge of energy actually provides you. All that adrenaline is not just for running away. It also sharpens your senses, increases your energy, and prepares you for peak performance. Great actors, athletes, and speakers all experience this same rush before they perform. The difference is they have learned to interpret it as excitement, not fear. They channel that nervous energy into their presence and passion. You can begin to do this by changing the label you put on the feeling. Instead of thinking, "I am so nervous," try thinking, "I am so excited. My body is getting ready to do something important." Research shows that simply telling yourself you are excited can significantly improve your performance. This is not about lying to yourself. It is about redirecting the same powerful energy toward a helpful outcome. Your body is giving you fuel. You get to decide whether that fuel powers a panic or a passionate, engaging talk. Let's practice a quick grounding technique you can use anywhere, anytime you feel the alarm bells ring. Start by planting your feet firmly on the floor, feeling the solid ground beneath you. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose for a count of 4, feeling your belly expand. Hold that breath for just a second, then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6. As you exhale, imagine releasing the tense, jittery energy. Repeat this 2 more times. This simple exercise signals to your brain's alarm system that you are not in a fight or flight situation. If you were, you would not be breathing slowly and deeply. It activates your body's natural relaxation response, calming your heart rate and clearing your mind. Pair this breath with a simple mantra like, "I am calm and capable," or "My energy is my power." Doing this regularly trains your brain to associate the speaking scenario with calm control instead of panic, building a new neural pathway over time. Think of a recent time you felt this fear, maybe just raising your hand in a meeting. Recall the specific sensations in your body. Now, rewrite the story of that moment with your new understanding. The butterflies in your stomach were not a sign you were failing. They were a sign you cared deeply about contributing. The slight shake in your hands was not weakness. It was your body's energy mobilizing to help you speak. This reframing is a powerful tool that defangs the fear over time. Every time you feel these sensations from now on, see them as proof that you are about to do something that matters, something that engages your whole being. Your goal is not to eliminate the physical feelings entirely. That would be like trying to eliminate the engine of a car. Your goal is to shift from being a scared passenger to being the confident driver, steering that powerful energy exactly where you want it to go. You have just taken the most important step, understanding that your fear is normal, natural, and even useful. This knowledge alone is a huge relief for most people who thought they were uniquely flawed. You are not broken. You are human, equipped with a sophisticated survival system. The coming chapters will give you the practical tools to work with this system, not against it. We will build a talk you are passionate about, practice in low-pressure ways, and develop a pre-speech routine that sets you up for success. The lion in the tall grass will slowly transform into a curious, friendly audience. Your brain's alarm will become a familiar signal that it is time to step into your power, connect with others, and share your voice. The journey from seeing fear as a monster to seeing it as a motivator has officially begun, and you are already on your way. Chapter 2, From I Have to I Get to, The Mindset Flip. Think about the last time you were asked to give a talk or presentation. What was the first phrase that popped into your mind? For most people, it is a heavy, obligation-filled thought like, I have to give that speech next week." This tiny phrase, "have to," carries immense weight. It frames the entire experience as a chore, a burden, or a test you must pass. It puts you in a position of powerlessness, where you are being forced to do something unpleasant. Your brain and body respond to this framing exactly as you would expect, with resistance, dread, and increased anxiety. The event becomes a dark cloud on your calendar, casting a shadow over your days as you count down with a sense of impending doom. This mindset sets you up for a struggle before you have even written a single word, because you are already fighting against the task itself. The energy you could be using to create and connect is instead spent on wishing you were anywhere else. Now, let us try a magical one-word substitution. Swap "have to" for "get to." Say it out loud. I get to give that speech next week. Feel the difference in your body and mind as you say those words. Get to implies opportunity, privilege, and even excitement. It is a phrase we use for things we look forward to, like, I get to see my best friend, or I get to go on vacation. This small linguistic shift is not just positive thinking. It is a cognitive reframe that changes your relationship to the event. You are moving from a mindset of scarcity and burden to one of abundance and gift. You are acknowledging that having a platform, having people who will listen to your ideas, is actually a rare and valuable opportunity. This reframe begins to lift the crushing weight off your shoulders, replacing it with a sense of lightness and potential. The speech is no longer a punishment, it is a possibility. To make this flip feel real and personal, we must find your unique why that has nothing to do with being perfect or impressing everyone. Ask yourself, what is the core message I want my audience to walk away with? How could my ideas help even one person in the room? Perhaps you get to share a solution that saves your team hours of work. Maybe you get to tell a story that makes people feel less alone. You might get to advocate for a cause you deeply believe in or teach a skill that could change someone's career. Your why is your North Star. It is the meaningful purpose that shines brighter than any fear of stumbling over your words. When your focus is on serving the audience and sharing something valuable, the spotlight shifts off of you and your performance. You become a guide, a helper, a storyteller, which is a far more comfortable and powerful role than target of judgment. Let's practice seeing your audience in this new, supportive light. Often, we imagine a room full of harsh critics waiting to pounce on every mistake, like judges at a talent show. This is almost never true. In reality, your audience is made up of individuals who have taken precious time out of their day to listen to you. They are hoping you will succeed, because if you succeed, they get value, insight, or entertainment. They are on your side. Think about when you are in an audience. You are usually rooting for the speaker, feeling empathy if they are nervous, and grateful when they share something useful. Your audience is a group of friends, colleagues, or learners, not executioners. Before you speak, take a moment to look at them and silently think, "These are my people. I have something good to share with them." This simple thought transforms the energy in the room from adversarial to collaborative. Now weave this new mindset into your daily preparation. As you work on your talk, keep saying "I get to" instead of "I have to." Write your why on a sticky note and put it on your computer. Visualize yourself sharing your message with that sense of purpose and service. When the old, fearful thoughts creep in, gently correct them. No, I don't have to do this perfectly. I get to connect with people about something I care about. This practice builds mental muscle. Over time, your brain will start to automatically associate public speaking with positive concepts like contribution and connection, rather than fear and judgment. You are literally creating new, happier pathways in your brain every time you make this choice. The event on your calendar will start to spark a flicker of curiosity or even excitement, rather than a bolt of dread. You now hold a key that unlocks a completely different experience of public speaking. The get-to mindset is your secret weapon against dread, a lens that transforms everything you see. It changes preparation from a tedious task into a creative act of crafting a gift for others. It changes walking on stage from walking a plank into stepping into a circle of connection. This shift does not mean you will never feel a butterfly again. It means you will welcome those butterflies as part of the thrill of a meaningful opportunity. With this chapter, you have begun to change the very story you tell yourself about why you speak. Carry this new story forward. Let it infuse your writing, your practice, and your final walk to the podium. You are not a prisoner being forced to perform. You are a person with a voice, ready to share something that matters. You get to do this, and that is a wonderful thing. Chapter 3. The body leads, the mind follows. Your mind is a powerful storyteller, capable of weaving tales of disaster before you even open your mouth. But here is a fascinating secret. Your body does not just listen to these stories. It often writes the first draft. How you hold your body directly sends signals to your brain about how to feel. If you are slumped with shallow breath, your brain receives a message that says, "We are in a low-energy, defeated state." If you are standing tall, taking up space, and breathing deeply, your brain gets a very different message. "We are in a high-power, confident state." This means you do not have to wait to feel confident to look confident. You can start with the actions of confidence, and the feeling will follow. This chapter is all about using your physical presence as a remote control for your mental state, sending deliberate signals of calm and command to quiet the anxious chatter in your head. Let's start with a tool you can use anywhere, even moments before you are introduced: the power pose. Find a private space like a bathroom stall, a hallway, or even just behind the podium. Stand with your feet shoulder-width apart, place your hands on your hips, and lift your chest slightly. Hold this superhero stance for just 2 full minutes. You can also try a victory pose by standing tall with your arms stretched wide and your chin up. Research shows that holding these expansive postures significantly reduces cortisol, the stress hormone, and increases testosterone linked to confidence. As you stand there, take slow, deep breaths. Do not just go through the motions. Really feel the posture. Feel your feet rooted to the ground, your spine long, and your chest open. You are not just pretending to be confident. You are biochemically shifting your body into a confident state. Your mind has no choice but to follow this powerful physical lead. Next, we turn to your most important tool, your breath. When you are nervous, your breathing becomes quick and shallow, stuck high in your chest. This type of breathing fuels the panic cycle, telling your brain that danger is near. The good news is that you can break this cycle instantly by taking control of your breath. Practice diaphragmatic breathing. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your belly. As you inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4, let the air fill your belly so that hand rises, while the hand on your chest stays relatively still. Then, exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6, gently squeezing your belly to push all the air out. This deep, rhythmic breathing activates your body's parasympathetic nervous system, which is its natural rest and digest calming response. It lowers your heart rate, steadies your voice, and clears mental fog. Practice this for 5 minutes a day, and it will become an instant calm button you can press anytime. Now let's connect that calm breath to a strong, steady voice. A shaky, quiet voice tells your brain you are unsure, which makes you feel more unsure. A clear, grounded voice tells your brain you are in charge. Try this simple vocal warm-up. Standing in your power pose, take a deep belly breath. As you exhale, make a long SSSS sound like a tire slowly deflating, aiming for a steady, consistent stream of air. Next, hum gently, feeling the vibration in your chest and face. Then, say a few tongue twisters or read a paragraph out loud, focusing on articulating each word clearly. The goal is not to be loud, but to be supported and resonant. When you speak from a place of supported breath, your voice will carry authority without strain. This practice ensures your voice becomes a reliable instrument that projects your calm confidence, rather than betraying your nerves. Here is a surprisingly simple trick. Smile. Even if you do not feel like it, gently lifting the corners of your mouth sends a direct feedback signal to your brain. The act of smiling triggers the release of neuropeptides and neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, which actively reduce stress and elevate mood. It literally tricks your brain into feeling happier and more at ease. A smile also changes how your audience perceives you in an instant, making you appear more friendly, approachable, and confident. Before you start speaking, take a moment, breathe, and offer a genuine, or even initially practiced, smile to your audience. You will feel your own tension lessen, and you will see people smile back. This creates an immediate, positive feedback loop of good feeling between you and the room. Your brain reads this friendly reception as social safety, further dialing down the alarm bells. Integrate these tools into a quick pre-speech ritual that you own. 60 seconds before you go on, find your private spot. Strike your power pose for 20 seconds while taking 3 deep, belly-filling breaths. Then, do your gentle vocal hum and a quick articulation exercise. Finally, as you walk to your spot, keep your posture tall, your breath deep, and a slight, ready smile on your face. This ritual does more than just warm you up. It creates a psychological anchor. It tells your brain and body, it is time to shift into my confident, connected speaking mode. Over time, this sequence becomes so linked with successful performance that simply starting it will trigger a wave of calm assurance. You are no longer at the mercy of your nerves. You have a physical protocol for excellence. Your body is not a traitor to be managed. It is your greatest ally, primed and ready to lead your mind into a state of powerful, joyful expression. Chapter 4. Passion is your password. Choose topics that excite you. Imagine trying to enthusiastically tell a friend about the most boring thing you can think of, like watching paint dry or reading a phone book. Your energy would be flat, your voice monotone, and your own mind would wander mid-sentence. Now, imagine describing your favorite hobby, a thrilling movie, or a cause you love. Your eyes light up, your words flow faster, and your whole body leans in. This is the transformative power of passion, and it is the master key to enjoyable public speaking. When you are genuinely excited about your topic, your natural enthusiasm becomes your greatest tool. It overrides self-consciousness, fuels your delivery, and is utterly contagious for your audience. Your first mission is not to craft a perfect speech, but to find the spark within your subject that makes your own heart beat a little faster. That spark will light the way for everything that follows. But what if you are assigned a topic that feels dry, technical, or boring at first glance? Your task is to become an explorer, digging for the hidden gem of interest. Start by asking yourself why questions. Why does this topic matter in the real world? Who is affected by it? What problem does it solve, or what opportunity does it create? A presentation on a new software feature is not about buttons and code. It is about saving people time, reducing frustration, and unlocking creativity. A financial report is not just numbers. It is the story of your team's hard work, a map for future growth, or a lesson learned from a challenge. Find the human element, the story, or the so what that connects to people's lives. Your passion does not have to be for the technical details. It can be for the impact, the solution, or the fascinating puzzle the topic presents. Let's use a fun, foolproof method called the 5-minute excitement brainstorm. Set a timer for 5 minutes. At the top of a page, write your assigned topic. Now, without stopping or judging, write down every single thought, question, or angle related to it that comes to mind. Let it be messy. Ask, what's the craziest example of this? What's the simplest way to explain it to a child? What historical figure would care about this? What if we did the opposite? This rapid-fire exercise bypasses your inner critic and taps into your curiosity. By the end, you will likely have 1 or 2 angles that made you smile, think, or want to know more. Circle those. That flicker of curiosity is your entry point for passion. Nurture that flicker, research that angle, and let it become the heart of your talk. Your own life is your richest, most authentic source material. People connect deeply with personal stories, not abstract concepts. Think about how this topic has shown up in your own experiences. Have you struggled with the problem it solves? Have you had a surprising aha moment related to it? Did you once believe something about it that turned out to be wrong? Weaving in a short, relevant personal anecdote does 3 powerful things. First, it makes the topic real and relatable. Second, it naturally injects your genuine emotion and voice into the talk. Third, it makes the material infinitely easier for you to remember and deliver, because you are not reciting facts, you are recounting a lived experience. Your passion lives in your stories. Now let's connect this to your audience's energy. Passion is a two-way street. When you speak about something you find genuinely interesting, your audience feels that energy and mirrors it back to you. You will see them nod, lean forward, and engage. This positive feedback loop is electrifying. Instead of draining your energy, speaking becomes energizing. You feed off their engagement and they feed off your enthusiasm. This transforms the experience from a draining solo performance into a vibrant, shared conversation. Your focus shifts from, "Am I doing this right?" to, "Are you feeling this too? Isn't this fascinating?" This is the state where time flies, where you forget to be nervous, and where the real magic of connection happens. You now have the password to unlock a world of engaging talks. Find your spark. Whether it is in the broader impact, a curious angle, or a personal story, your genuine interest is the engine that drives everything. From this chapter forward, never accept a topic as boring. See it as a treasure hunt for the hidden excitement that will captivate both you and your listeners. Let your passion be your guide, your energizer, and your most convincing tool. When you stand up to speak from this place of authentic interest, you are not just giving a talk, you are sharing a discovery, and that is an invitation everyone wants to accept. Your excitement is the most contagious element in the room, so let it spread. Chapter 5. Structure is your safety net. Walking on stage without a clear structure is like setting off on a road trip without a map. Every turn feels uncertain, and the fear of getting lost is constant. A strong, simple structure is your safety net. It is the invisible framework that holds you up, guides your audience, and gives you the freedom to be present and passionate. When you know exactly where you are going, confidence soars. This chapter will give you a never-fail formula that works for any talk, from a 5-minute update to a keynote address. This structure is not a cage for your creativity. It is the strong, reliable track that lets your creative train run fast and smooth, without the fear of derailing. You will build a map so clear that even if your mind goes momentarily blank, you know exactly how to find your way back. Our foundation is a classic, powerful 3-act play: the opening, the journey, and the landing. Think of it as telling your audience, here is where we are starting, here is the interesting path we will walk together, and here is where we will arrive. The opening is your crucial first minute, where you grab attention and set the direction. The journey is the body of your talk, where you explore your main points. The landing is your final minute, where you tie everything together and leave a lasting impression. This simple beginning, middle, end flow feels natural and satisfying to every listener. It works because it mirrors how we understand stories and information in everyday life. Your job is to fit your content into this comforting, reliable rhythm, which makes your talk feel polished and easy to follow, both for you and your audience. Let's build your opening, which has 2 critical jobs: hook and map. Your hook is a compelling first sentence, a surprising fact, a provocative question, a short, relatable story, or a bold statement. Its only goal is to make your audience think, "Oh, I want to hear more." Immediately after the hook, give them the map. Clearly state what they will learn or gain by the end of your talk. Use phrases like, "Today I'm going to share with you 3 ways to," or "By the end of this, you'll understand why." This map does a wonderful thing. It calms your audience's mind. They know what to expect, and it calms your mind. You have just told them exactly what you plan to do. You have made a promise, and now your entire talk is simply about fulfilling that promise step by step. Now for the journey, we use a magical tool, the rule of 3. The human brain loves things that come in threes. It finds them complete, memorable, and satisfying. Organize the body of your talk into 3 main points, stories, or ideas. Not 2, not 4, but 3. For example, the 3 common mistakes everyone makes, the 3 lessons I learned from this project, or the 3 steps to achieving this result. Each of these points becomes a clear signpost on your journey. As you finish one point, you smoothly transition to the next by saying something like, "So that's the first lesson on preparation. Now, let's talk about the second, which is execution." This structure keeps you on track and gives your audience easy mental handles to grasp and remember your content. Your landing or conclusion is your final powerful impression. Do not just trail off or say, "That's it." Your landing has 3 parts: the summary, the takeaway, and the closing thought. First, briefly summarize your 3 main points. So, as we've seen, to succeed you need to remember these 3 things: 1, 2, and 3. This reinforces the core message. Next, give a clear call to action or main takeaway. What do you want them to do or think differently? Finally, end with a strong closing thought. Circle back to your opening hook, share an inspiring quote, or paint a picture of the positive future your ideas create. This powerful closure leaves your audience feeling complete, informed, and motivated. It also gives you, the speaker, a definite, confident finish line to cross. With this structure in place, you possess an unshakable safety net. You can practice each section independently, making the task feel smaller and more manageable. If you lose your place during the talk, you can simply glance at your notes, see which of your 3 points you are on, and continue. This reliability frees up immense mental energy. Instead of using your brain power to remember what comes next, you can use that energy to connect with your audience, infuse your delivery with passion, and respond to the room. Structure provides the ultimate freedom. It turns a scary, amorphous task into a series of manageable, successful steps. You are no longer giving a speech. You are confidently guiding your audience on a clear, rewarding journey from curiosity to understanding. Now, let's fill this powerful structure with content that shines. Chapter 6. Practice that doesn't feel like practice. The word practice often conjures up images of grueling, repetitive drills, standing in front of a mirror while criticizing every flaw. No wonder we avoid it. But what if practice could be playful, low pressure, and even fun? Effective rehearsal is not about perfecting a robotic performance. It is about making the material so familiar it feels like a comfortable conversation. This chapter is your guide to ditching the dread and discovering practice methods that build real confidence without the pain. We will move practice out of the hard work category and into the creative exploration category. Your goal is to become friends with your talk, to know its rhythms and turns so well that delivering it feels natural, not forced. Let's explore how to get there without ever looking in a mirror if you do not want to. First, ban the idea of memorizing your talk word for word. A script memorized by rote is fragile. One missed word can send you into a panic spiral. Instead, aim to memorize the structure from Chapter 5. Your opening hook and map, your 3 main points, and your landing. Know the journey, not every single cobblestone on the path. Now try the talk to your pet plant method. Yes, literally find a plant, a stuffed animal, or a friendly photo. Explain your talk to it, out loud in simple language. Do not try to be formal, just communicate your main ideas as if you were telling a friend. This removes the pressure of a human audience and focuses you on the flow of ideas, not on perfect phrasing. Your plant is a wonderfully forgiving listener, and this process helps you find the natural, conversational voice you want to use on the day. Next, take your talk for a walk. Literally, go for a walk outside or pace around your room while speaking your key points out loud. The physical movement of walking helps unlock creativity and fluidity in your speech. It prevents you from freezing up and encourages a more natural, flowing delivery. As you walk, focus on connecting your points with simple transition phrases like, "The next thing to consider is," or "This leads me to my final point." The combination of physical and verbal rehearsal builds muscle memory in a holistic way. Your body learns the talk as well as your mind. This method also uses up a little of that nervous physical energy, making you feel more calm and grounded when you finally stand still to deliver. Now let's tackle the dreaded task of recording yourself, but we will remove the cringe factor. Do not record your whole talk at first. Start by recording only your opening hook and map. Listen back. Does it sound clear and engaging? Adjust and try again until it feels good. Then record just your first main point. Listen. The key is to listen not for judgment, "I hate my voice," but for clarity, "Did that sentence make sense?" Celebrate what works. That story sounded really natural. Fix only what is confusing. By chunking it into small pieces, the process becomes manageable and constructive, not overwhelming. You are not creating a masterpiece for film. You are using a tool to smooth out the bumps in the road. Incorporate random audience practice into your daily life. Explain one of your main points to a trusted friend over coffee, to a family member while making dinner, or even to yourself while driving, hands-free of course. The setting is so casual that the pressure vanishes, but you are still solidifying the core ideas in your mind. This also helps you anticipate questions people might have, which makes you feel more prepared and expert. The more you talk about your material in low-stakes environments, the more it becomes a part of your own thinking, and the easier it will be to access during the real talk. Your final practice step is the dress rehearsal. Do one full run-through from walking to your spot to your final closing thought. Wear the shoes you will wear, stand up and go for it. Do this not to achieve perfection, but to identify any last sticky spots and to build stamina. Afterward, do not nitpick. Ask yourself just 2 questions. What was one thing that felt really strong? And what is one small tweak I can make to improve flow? Then let it go. Trust that you have done the work. This kind of practice, playful, chunked, and focused on familiarity over perfection, builds a deep, resilient confidence. On the day of your talk, you will not be clinging to a shaky script. You will be having a conversation you have already had successfully many times, just with new friends in the room. Practice is no longer a chore. It is your pathway to ease and ownership. Chapter 7, Morning of, Your Calm Confidence Routine. The day of your talk has arrived. The sun rises not on a day of dread, but on your day of opportunity. How you spend these morning hours sets the tone for everything that follows. This chapter is your blueprint for a calm, confident pre-game routine. We will focus on simple, nourishing choices that steady your nerves and prime your mind and body for success. Forget last-minute cramming or frantic rehearsing. Those activities only feed anxiety. Instead, we will create a gentle, empowering ritual that makes you feel prepared, centered, and strong. Your goal is to walk into the venue feeling like a capable professional, not a nervous wreck. Let's design a morning that supports the amazing work you have already done. Start with your body's foundation, hydration and fuel. Upon waking, drink a full glass of water. Nervousness can dehydrate you, leading to a dry mouth and foggy thinking. Sip water consistently throughout the morning. For breakfast, choose foods that release energy slowly and steady your blood sugar. Think oatmeal with nuts, eggs with whole grain toast, or yogurt with fruit. Avoid sugary cereals or pastries that can cause a spike and crash in energy. Also, be mindful of caffeine. 1 cup of coffee or tea is fine for most, but avoid loading up on extra shots of espresso, which can amplify jitters. Treat your body like a high-performance vehicle you are tuning for a great trip, not a trash can you are stuffing with nervous fuel. Next, engage in light, mindful movement. This is not a punishing workout. It is about releasing physical tension and boosting feel-good endorphins. A brisk 15-minute walk outside in the fresh air is perfect. You could also do some gentle stretching, a few yoga poses like cat-cow or a forward fold, or even dance to one of your favorite songs in your living room. The goal is to connect with your body in a positive way, to shake out the stagnant, anxious energy, and to remind yourself that your body is your ally. This movement tells your system, we are active and ready, not we are frozen in fear. Now let's calm the mind with a short mindfulness exercise. Find a quiet spot to sit comfortably for just 5 minutes. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. Do not try to change it. Just observe the sensation of air moving in and out. Your mind will wander to your talk, to the audience, to a million what-ifs. This is normal. Each time you notice your thoughts drifting, gently label it thinking and return your focus to your breath. This practice is like a bicep curl for your focus muscle. It trains you to notice anxious thoughts without getting swept away by them. It creates a small, peaceful space between you and your nerves. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts, and that is a powerful place to be. In the final hour before you need to leave, do a confidence review, not a frantic reread. Look over your structure map, your opening, 3 points, and landing. Silently remind yourself of your why from Chapter 2. Visualize not just yourself speaking, but yourself speaking successfully. See yourself smiling, making eye contact, and the audience nodding in understanding. Feel the satisfaction of sharing your message. This positive visualization primes your brain for success. Then gather your things calmly. Your notes, water bottle, any props. Lay out your outfit the night before so you are not making decisions now. The less chaos and last-minute choice, the more mental space you have for calm. You have now created a protective bubble of preparation around your morning. You have nourished your body, moved your energy, centered your mind, and focused your intent. You are deliberately avoiding the panic spiral of negative self-talk and last-minute changes. Trust is your final ingredient. Trust the structure you built, the practice you did, and the passion you hold for your topic. As you head out the door, take one last deep breath and say to yourself, I am prepared. I am here to serve. I get to do this. This routine is not about superstition. It is about conscious creation. You are not leaving your state of mind to chance. You are actively designing a calm, confident launchpad for your successful talk. The stage is waiting and you are ready. Chapter 8. The Green Room Warm-Up, even if it's a bathroom. You have arrived at the venue. The energy is buzzing, people are milling about, and the reality of the event is now immediate. This is the critical window, the final minutes before you go on, where many speakers lose their cool. But not you. You have a plan. This chapter gives you your backstage ritual, your green room warm-up, even if your only private space is a bathroom stall. This 5 to 10 minute routine is your secret weapon to transition from backstage you to onstage you. It will integrate everything you have learned, calming your body, empowering your voice, and focusing your mind. These minutes are not for worrying. They are for intentional preparation that makes you feel focused, powerful, and ready to connect. First, find your space. Excuse yourself to a restroom, a quiet hallway corner, a stairwell, or even just turn away from the crowd. You need just a few feet of privacy. Begin with your posture. Stand tall, feet planted. Do your power pose for 30 seconds, hands on hips, chest open, chin level. Breathe deeply into your belly. Feel the solid ground beneath you. This physical stance is your first and most important command to your nervous system, broadcasting a message of strength and stability. It immediately begins to shift your biochemistry from stress to readiness. As you stand there, silently affirm, "I am grounded. I am strong." This is not cheesy. It is a direct order to your brain and body. Now move to your breath and voice. Take 3 of your slow, diaphragmatic breaths, in for 4, hold out for 6. Then engage in silent, internal vocal warm-ups. With your mouth closed, hum gently, feeling the vibration in your nose, lips, and chest. You can do this completely silently to the outside world. Next, exaggerate your facial movements. Smile wide, open your mouth as if in surprise, wiggle your jaw side to release tension. Then, practice articulating silently but with clear mouth shapes. Say the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips, without using your voice. These exercises warm up the muscles of your face and articulators without drawing any external attention, ensuring your speech will be clear and fluid. It is time to focus your mind and set your intent. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture a specific positive outcome for your talk. Do not picture a flawless performance, picture a genuine connection. See one person in the audience nodding as they understand a key point. See yourself recovering smoothly from a pause. Hear the sound of genuine laughter or appreciative silence. Feel the satisfaction of finishing strong. This visualization sets a positive expectation. Then, reconnect with your core why. Whisper to yourself, "I am here to share my core message. I am here to help connect with inspire this group." This moves your focus from yourself to your service, which is the ultimate confidence booster. Your final step is the energy shift. If you are feeling too jittery, do 5 slow, deliberate squats or press your palms firmly together in front of your chest for 10 seconds to burn off a little adrenaline and create solid physical sensation. If you are feeling too low energy, shake out your hands and arms. Do a few quick, small jumps, if space allows, or briskly rub your hands together to create heat. Match your physical energy to the energetic tone you want to project. End by putting a gentle, authentic smile on your face. Look at yourself in a mirror if there is one, and give that smiling person a nod of approval. You are ready. Walk out of your private space with purpose. Keep your posture tall and your breath steady. As you approach the stage or speaking area, your mind is clear, your body is primed, and your heart is focused on connection. You have not left your state to chance. You have actively engineered a state of readiness. This ritual is now yours. It is a non-negotiable gift you give yourself before every talk, big or small. It transforms the scary, liminal backstage space into your personal launchpad. The murmurs of the audience are no longer a threat. They are the sound of people waiting to hear what you have to say. Take one last centering breath and step into your moment. The green room warm-up is complete. The stage is yours. Chapter 9. The 60-second magic trick, owning the room before you speak. The moment has come. You are introduced or you walk to the front of the room. The next 60 seconds before you utter your first substantive word are the most powerful minutes of your entire talk. This is where you either claim the space or shrink from it. This chapter reveals the magic trick of silent speaking, where you use presence, not words, to establish connection and authority. What you do in this first minute tells the audience everything about your confidence and sets the emotional tone for everything that follows. We will craft a deliberate, simple sequence that allows you to own the room calmly and comfortably, making both you and your audience feel at ease from the very start. Your magic begins the second you stand up or are called forward. Do not rush. The walk to your speaking position is part of your presentation. Stand up deliberately, smooth your clothing if needed, and walk with purpose. Keep your head up and your shoulders relaxed. Let there be a slight, calm smile on your face, not a tense grin. As you walk, make brief, soft eye contact with one or two people along the way. This walk is not an anxious scramble to get it over with. It is a graceful transition, signaling that you are comfortable moving into this role. The audience reads your body language instantly. A slow, purposeful walk communicates control and confidence before you even reach the front. Arrive at your spot. Do not immediately start talking. This is the most potent part of the trick, the power of intentional silence. Plant your feet firmly, take one deep, centering breath that you can feel in your belly, and slowly look out at your audience. Let your gaze sweep across the room, making soft, connecting eye contact with a few friendly-looking faces in different sections, left, center, right. This pause might feel like an eternity to you, but to the audience it reads as poise. It says, "I am comfortable here. I am gathering my thoughts. I am present with you." Rushing to speak often comes from anxiety. Embracing the silence comes from assurance. This 3 to 5 second pause also grabs the audience's attention, pulling them in and creating anticipation for your first words. Now begin with your hook, but deliver it to one person. As you break the silence, look at one friendly face you identified and deliver your opening line directly to them. Speak as if you are beginning a conversation with that single individual. This makes your start feel intimate and conversational, not like a broadcast to a faceless crowd. Your voice will naturally be more authentic and connected. That person will likely give you a slight nod or smile of engagement, giving you an instant positive feedback loop. After that first sentence, slowly widen your gaze to include a few more people as you deliver your map of the talk. You have now successfully transitioned from a personal connection to addressing the whole group, having grounded yourself in a real human connection first. Throughout this first minute, be intensely mindful of your nonverbal communication. Keep your hands relaxed at your sides or gently clasped in front of you. Avoid clutching the podium, fidgeting, or putting your hands in your pockets. Stand with balanced weight on both feet. Your facial expression should be open and engaged. Remember to breathe naturally between your sentences. Every gesture, every glance, every pause is communicating confidence and warmth. The audience is subconsciously reading all of this, and it builds immense trust. They think, "This person is calm and in control. I can relax and listen." You are not just waiting to speak. You are actively building a relationship using the language of presence. By mastering this 60-second sequence, you transform the most nerve-wracking part of the talk into your greatest advantage. You move from being a speaker who hopes for the audience's approval to a host who welcomes them into your space. This magic trick effectively tricks your own brain as well. By acting confidently and receiving positive visual feedback, you start to feel confident. The fearful monologue in your head is replaced by the external, rewarding task of connecting with real people in front of you. You have owned the room not through force, but through calm, deliberate presence. The stage is no longer a scary place. It is simply the spot where you get to have a great conversation. Now, with the room yours and the audience with you, you can dive joyfully into the heart of your message. Chapter 10. Speaking in pictures, not just words. The human brain is wired for stories and images, not for lists of abstract facts. Think about your own favorite teachers or speakers. You likely remember the stories they told, not the bullet points they recited. This chapter is about transforming your talk from a transfer of information into an experience for the imagination. When you speak in pictures, you paint scenes in the minds of your listeners, making your message memorable, emotional, and sticky. We will move from telling to showing, from explaining to illustrating. Your words will become a brush, and your audience's minds will become the canvas. This shift is not just more effective for them, it is more joyful and creative for you, pulling you out of your own nerves and into the art of communication. Let's start with the ultimate tool, the story. Every key point you have should be anchored, if possible, with a short, relevant story. It could be a personal anecdote, a case study, a historical example, or a simple imagine-if scenario. A story has a character even if it's you, a challenge, and a resolution. For example, instead of saying, "Preparation reduces errors," you could say, "Last quarter, my team faced a tight deadline. We almost skipped our planning meeting, but Sarah insisted. That 20-minute meeting revealed a major oversight that would have set us back 2 weeks. That's the power of preparation." The story creates a mental movie with emotion and stakes, which makes the lesson unforgettable. Your audience will forget the statistic, but they will remember Sarah and the saved 2 weeks. Use simple, sensory language to paint those pictures. Instead of "The project was successful," try, "When we launched, the team's cheers in the office were so loud the department next door complained." Instead of "We need to be efficient," say, "Let's clear the clutter from our process so we have a clean, fast highway for our ideas to travel." Invite the senses. Use words that evoke sight. Picture this: clear as day sound. It was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. Or feeling, the tension in the room was thick. Avoid jargon and complex vocabulary. Speak as if you are explaining your idea to a smart, curious friend over lunch. This clear, vivid language draws people in and makes complex ideas feel accessible and real. Metaphors and analogies are your best friends for explaining difficult concepts. They link a new, unfamiliar idea to something your audience already understands. Is your topic about cybersecurity? Don't just talk about firewalls. Compare them to a castle's moat and drawbridge. Explaining a new collaborative process. Describe it as a symphony orchestra, where different instruments play separate parts that create a harmonious whole. A good metaphor does the heavy lifting of explanation for you. It gives the audience a ready-made image to hold onto, making the abstract concrete. Spend time brainstorming a simple, strong analogy for your core message. It will become the centerpiece people remember. Now structure your talk like a guided tour, not a lecture. You are the guide, leading your audience through a landscape of ideas. First, let's look over here at the current situation. Notice how cluttered it is. Now follow me to this new approach. See how the path clears up. And finally, let's climb to the top of the hill and look at the view of what's possible. This narrative structure keeps people engaged because they are on a journey with you. They are not passively receiving data, they are actively exploring a new mental terrain. Use phrases like "come with me to," or "let's explore why," to maintain this collaborative, exploratory feeling. Integrating these techniques makes your delivery dynamic and frees you from your notes. When you are telling a story from your life, you do not need to read it, you can just tell it. When you are painting a picture with a metaphor, your gestures will become more natural as you show the castle or the orchestra. Your passion will naturally rise because you are creating something live, in the moment, with your audience. You will see their faces change as they get your image, and that feedback is incredibly energizing. You are no longer just a speaker. You are a creator of shared understanding. Your talk becomes a collection of vivid mental pictures that your audience will carry with them long after your words have faded. Now, go paint with your words. Chapter 11, The Conversation Trick, Talking with People, Not at Them. The biggest shift from fearing public speaking to loving it is this: stop thinking of it as a speech and start thinking of it as a large conversation. When you lecture at people, you are alone on an island. When you converse with people, you are in a circle of connection. This chapter will teach you how to break the invisible wall between you and the audience, creating a flowing, responsive exchange that feels natural and engaging for everyone. The goal is to make each person feel like you are talking directly to them, that their presence matters to the flow of ideas. This trick eliminates the feeling of performing and replaces it with the much more comfortable feeling of simply communicating with a group of interested humans. It begins with how you see your audience. Before you start and during natural pauses, scan the room not as a blurry sea of faces but as a collection of individuals. Look for the nodders and the smilers. These are your conversational partners. Make genuine, soft eye contact with one person for a full thought or sentence, then move to another. Do not dart your eyes nervously or stare at the back wall. Real eye contact creates a series of mini conversations. That person feels seen and you get a shot of connection energy. It is less stressful to talk to one person at a time than to a faceless crowd. Over the course of your talk, try to make meaningful eye contact with people in all parts of the room: left, right, center, front, and back. Use questions as your ultimate engagement tool, even if they are rhetorical. A rhetorical question posed to the audience immediately pulls them into active thinking. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where, what would you do if? Can you imagine the impact of? Pause after you ask it, letting the question hang in the air for a beat. You will see people's faces change as they internally answer. This transforms them from passive listeners into active participants. You can also use direct questions if the setting allows. By a show of hands, how many of you have experienced? This physical interaction breaks the monotony and gives you instant feedback on your audience's experiences and opinions. Read the room's energy and be willing to adapt slightly. Are people leaning forward, engaged? Lean in a little yourself and share the next point with a bit more intensity. Do you see looks of confusion? Pause and say, "Let me put that another way." And offer a simpler explanation or an analogy. Is the energy dipping? Insert a relevant short story or a moment of light humor to re-engage. This responsiveness makes you a compassionate communicator, not just a broadcaster. It tells the audience you are paying attention to them, which builds tremendous rapport. You are having a dialogue with their nonverbal cues, which is the heart of any good conversation. Incorporate language that implies collaboration. Use we and us instead of I and you where appropriate. Together we can see that, or as we explore this. This linguistically brings the audience onto your side of the issue. Share the credit for ideas. Many of you probably already know that. Or as Jane in the front row just demonstrated with her nod. Acknowledge the shared space. It's so great to be here with you all today. These small verbal choices dissolve the expert versus audience hierarchy and create a feeling of a team working through an idea together. You are not a sage on the stage. You are a guide by their side. Embrace the natural conversational rhythm this creates. Allow for pauses after key points for ideas to land. Use conversational filler like "now," "so," or "here's the thing" to signal transitions just as you would in a chat with a friend. Let your tone rise and fall naturally with your passion. When you make this shift, something magical happens. Your own anxiety diminishes significantly. Why? Because you are no longer focused on a perfect performance. You are focused on connection and communication, which is something you do successfully every single day. The pressure vanishes. You are simply sharing ideas with a slightly larger group than usual. The stage becomes just a place where you get to have a fantastic, large-scale conversation about something you care about. Talk with them and watch the whole experience transform. Chapter 12. Oops, handling glitches with grace. No matter how well you prepare, live events are live. A microphone might squeal, your slide clicker might fail, you might momentarily forget what comes next, or someone's phone might ring loudly. These moments feel terrifying in anticipation, but they are actually your greatest opportunity to win over an audience. How you handle a glitch determines whether it becomes a distracting disaster or an endearing, humanizing moment. This chapter is your toolkit for turning oops into aha. Moments of authentic connection. We will reframe mistakes from proof of failure to proof of your poise and humanity. Remember, the audience is not expecting robotic perfection. They are hopping for a real person. Your graceful recovery will impress them far more than a flawless script ever could. Let's tackle the biggest fear first. Your mind goes blank. You are flowing along and suddenly, nothing. The next point has vanished. Do not panic. This happens to everyone. First, buy yourself time with a purposeful pause. Take a slow sip of water or calmly say, "Let me just take a moment to make sure I'm giving this point the clarity it deserves." Look down at your notes deliberately. Having your structure mapped there is crucial. The audience will read this as thoughtful, not forgetful. If you cannot find it, you have two graceful options. Option 1, summarize what you just said. So, as we've been discussing, the key so far is X and Y. This recap often jars the next point loose. Option 2, skip ahead to a point or story you do remember and circle back later. The audience does not have your script. They will not know you skipped something unless you tell them. What about tech fails? The PowerPoint freezes, the video won't play, the mic dies. Here is your mantra: the show must go on and you are the show. If slides fail, smile and say, "Well, it looks like we're going old school today. Let me tell you about what was on that slide." Your ability to continue without the crutch demonstrates true mastery of your material. If the microphone cuts out, project your voice confidently and ask, "Can you all hear me in the back?" This turns the problem into a collective, solvable challenge with the audience. Tech fails are not your fault, but your calm, solution-oriented response will be entirely credited to your professionalism and cool under pressure. Handling interruptions, a loud phone, a latecomer, a question shouted out of turn, requires polite authority. For a ringing phone, you can pause, smile, and say gently, "Ah, someone is popular, we'll wait while you silence that." Said with a kind tone, it gets a laugh and solves the issue. For a latecomer, a simple pause to let them sit down is enough. Do not draw more attention to it. For an out-of-turn question, you can acknowledge it warmly. "That's a great question, and I'm going to cover that in just a few minutes. Can I ask you to hold that thought?" This shows you are in control of the flow while still valuing their contribution. The key in all interruptions is to stay unflustered and courteous. Now, what if you make a verbal flub, mispronounce a word, stumble over a sentence, or give an incorrect fact? Correct it simply and move on. "I'm sorry, let me rephrase that more clearly." Or, "Actually, let me correct myself on that number. The correct figure is." Audiences appreciate accuracy and humility. Trying to hide a mistake creates more tension than calmly fixing it. If it's a minor stumble, you can even laugh at yourself lightly. "My brain got ahead of my mouth there." This shows you do not take yourself too seriously and makes you more relatable. Perfection is alienating. Graceful recovery is inspiring. Embrace the philosophy that the glitch is part of the shared live experience. It is something unique that happens between you and this specific audience at this moment. By handling it with grace, you create a special memory of collaboration. You and the audience get through it together. This builds a stronger bond than a perfectly smooth talk ever could. Afterward, people will not remember the frozen slide. They will remember how you kept your cool and made them laugh. They will not remember the 5 seconds of silence. They will remember your thoughtful composure. By mastering these recovery techniques, you strip glitches of their power to scare you. You know you can handle anything, and that knowledge makes you truly fearless. So, when the inevitable oops happens, smile. Your moment to shine as a true professional has just arrived. Chapter 13. The Afterglow, Learning from Every Experience. You have done it. You have walked off the stage, the talk is over, and a wave of relief mixed with strange energy washes over you. This post-talk period, the afterglow, is a golden learning opportunity that most people waste. They either obsess over every tiny flaw or try to forget the experience entirely. This chapter will show you how to harvest the wisdom from your talk while basking in the accomplishment, building an upward spiral of confidence for next time. We will create a constructive review process that highlights your strengths and identifies gentle improvements, all while cementing the belief that you are a capable speaker. Your goal is to leave each speaking experience stronger, smarter, and more eager for the next one. First, give yourself a mandatory celebration period. For at least the first hour after your talk, you are banned from any criticism. Your only job is to receive compliments and feel good. Thank people for their kind words simply. Thank you so much, that means a lot. Do not deflect with self-criticism like, oh, but I was so nervous. Just say thank you. Let the positive feedback sink in. Allow yourself to feel the pride of completion. You faced a fear, you prepared, and you did it. This is a big deal. Go get a treat, call a supportive friend, or just take a quiet moment to acknowledge your courage. This celebration rewires your brain to associate public speaking with reward, not just relief that it's over. After the celebration period, it is time for your structured, kind review. Find a quiet moment later that day or the next day. Take out a notebook and draw a line down the center of a page. Label one column, what went well, my golden nuggets, and the other, what I could polish next time. Start by filling the golden nuggets column. This is non-negotiable. What felt smooth? Did your opening hook get a good reaction? Did a particular story land well? Was your voice steady? Did you remember your structure? Did you handle a question smoothly? List every single positive, no matter how small. This forces your brain to acknowledge your successes, which builds authentic confidence from real evidence. Now move to the Polish column. Here, you are not looking for failures, you are looking for learning opportunities. Phrase them constructively. Not, I messed up the middle part. Instead, the transition between points 2 and 3 felt a bit rushed. Next time I can add a clearer bridging sentence. Not, my hands were shaky. Instead, I felt some nervous energy in my hands. Next time I'll use a purposeful gesture with my notes at that moment to channel it. Limit yourself to 2 or 3 key polish points. The goal is actionable, specific tweaks, not a general feeling of not being good enough. This turns perceived flaws into a simple plan for growth. Seeking external feedback can be valuable, but you must ask for it the right way. Do not ask a generic, how did I do? That puts people on the spot. Instead, ask one specific, positive-focused question to a trusted colleague or friend. Try, what's one thing you felt was the strongest part of the talk? Or was there any part where you felt the message could have been a bit clearer? This prompts more thoughtful, useful feedback than a vague request for critique. Thank them for their input, take what resonates and leave the rest. Remember, you are the expert on your own experience. External feedback is just one data point. Finally, close the loop with a future-facing statement. Look at your golden nuggets and your Polish notes. Synthesize them into one empowering sentence about your growth. For example, I'm a speaker who tells compelling stories and is learning to pace my transitions better. Or, I connect well with audiences and can build even more confidence with my pre-talk ritual. Write this sentence down. This becomes your new, upgraded identity as a speaker. File your review notes away. The talk is now complete, and you have extracted all its valuable lessons. You are not carrying baggage forward. You are carrying a toolbox that is now fuller than before. You step out of the afterglow not just relieved, but genuinely smarter and more equipped, already looking forward to your next chance to share your voice. Chapter 14. Seeking out opportunities, yes, really. This idea might sound crazy right after your first big talk, but it is the master key to lasting confidence. To truly love public speaking, you must start to seek it out. Not in huge, terrifying leaps, but in small, manageable steps that keep your skills sharp and your brain familiar with success. If you only speak once a year, it will always feel like a massive, scary event. But if you speak regularly in low-risk settings, it becomes a normal, even enjoyable part of your life. This chapter is your playbook for turning public speaking from a rare ordeal into a fun game of growth. We will find tiny, safe ways for you to raise your hand and share your voice, building an I did it collection that proves your capability to yourself over and over. Start by redefining what public speaking means. It is not just a formal presentation on a stage. It is any time you speak to a group with intention. This includes speaking up in a team meeting, offering a toast at a friend's dinner party, giving an update in a class, or even asking a question in a webinar chat that gets read aloud. These are your low-risk practice arenas. Your goal for the next month is not to land a TEDx talk. It is to volunteer to give a 2-minute update at your next work huddle, or to share a personal story when a friend asks, "How was your weekend?" in a group setting. These moments count. They are real speaking experiences that build the same muscles without the high stakes. Make it a game. Challenge yourself to speak up once a week in a small, defined way. Keep a simple log or give yourself a checkmark on your calendar each time you do it. The act of tracking creates a sense of momentum and achievement. The goal is frequency, not perfection. You could have a different mission each week. Week 1, ask one question in a meeting. Week 2, give a compliment to the whole team at the start of a call. Week 3, explain a concept to a colleague without using jargon. Week 4, volunteer to present one slide at a project review. By framing it as a playful challenge, you remove the heaviness and inject curiosity. I wonder how it will feel to do my mission this week. Look for opportunities that align with your passions. Do you love a particular hobby? Offer to give a 10-minute demonstration at a local club or community center. Are you knowledgeable about a work process? Volunteer to train a new colleague. Passion makes the speaking feel more like sharing and less like performing. These topic-driven opportunities are easier to say yes to because your excitement for the subject outweighs your fear of speaking. You become a helpful resource, which is a powerful and positive identity to step into. Each time you do this, you reinforce the "I get to" mindset from a place of genuine desire. Embrace the role of the facilitator or host. Offering to introduce a speaker at an event, to moderate a panel discussion, or to host a social gathering are all fantastic speaking opportunities with a clear, structured role. These roles often feel safer because the focus is not solely on you. You are there to guide others or to set the stage. Yet they require you to speak clearly, think on your feet, and connect with an audience. They are stealth training for solo talks, and they look great on your resume. Saying yes to these supporting roles builds your comfort in the spotlight in a gradual, supportive way. Each small success is a brick in the foundation of your new identity. After you complete a small mission or a low-stakes talk, do your afterglow review from Chapter 13. Collect your golden nuggets. Over time, you will have a long list of evidence that you can do this. You spoke up in the meeting and people listened. Your toast made people laugh. Your training was clear and helpful. This evidence is undeniable. The voice in your head that says, "I can't," is gradually drowned out by the real-world data that says, "I did, and it was fine, even fun." Seeking opportunities transforms public speaking from a monster under the bed into a familiar, friendly tool you know how to use. You stop waiting for chances to speak and start creating them, and that is the moment you truly become a speaker. Chapter 15. Your new identity. I am a speaker. You have gathered the tools, practiced the tricks, and faced the fear. Now it is time for the final, most important shift, stepping into your new identity. This is not about faking it until you make it. It is about recognizing that you have already made it. Every time you prepared, practiced, and spoke, you were performing the actions of a speaker. Now, we simply update the story you tell yourself to match that reality. Letting go of the old "I'm bad at this" story is like taking off a heavy, ill-fitting coat. The new story, I am a speaker, is lighter, truer, and empowers you to walk into any room with quiet assurance. This chapter is about cementing that identity so it becomes your natural state. Begin by consciously retiring the old narrative. Think of the last time you described yourself as someone who hates public speaking or gets terribly nervous. That story was a protective shell, but it has served its purpose. Thank it for trying to keep you safe and then let it go. Every time the old thought arises, "I'm not a speaker," gently correct it with the evidence. I have given talks. I have connected with audiences. Therefore, I am a speaker. You do not need to be the best speaker in the world. You just need to be someone who speaks. This identity is not earned by being perfect. It is claimed by being willing to share your voice. Your willingness is the only qualification you need. Celebrate your unique voice and style. The world does not need another copy of a famous orator. It needs you. Your combination of experiences, your sense of humor, your way of explaining things, your passion, that is your signature style. Maybe you are the speaker who tells great stories. Maybe you are the speaker who breaks down complex ideas with perfect analogies. Maybe you are the speaker with a calm, reassuring presence. Identify your strengths from your golden nuggets and claim them as part of your style. When you focus on amplifying what is authentically you, rather than mimicking someone else, speaking becomes an expression of your true self, not an impression. This authenticity is magnetic and feels much more natural to maintain. Integrate this identity into your daily life. Introduce yourself in a low-stakes setting as someone who enjoys sharing ideas. When a project comes up at work, think, as a speaker, I can help present this. When you see a call for proposals for a conference, think, that could be for someone like me. This is not arrogance. It is an accurate assessment of your capabilities. You are changing the filter through which you see opportunities. They are no longer threats to avoid. They are invitations you are now equipped to consider. Your internal dialogue shifts from could I to how would I. This is the mindset of someone who owns their skill. Reflect on how far you have come. Look back at the person who started reading this book, who felt their heart race at the very thought of speaking. That person had the courage to begin, and now you are here. You understand your fear, you have a structure, you have a warm-up, you know how to connect. The tricks are no longer tricks. They have become your truths, your standard operating procedure. The stage is no longer a place of threat. It is a place of connection, a place where you get to share what matters to you. This transformation is real, and it is yours. You have not just learned to manage public speaking. You have learned to appreciate the unique energy and reward it brings. Step forward now, not as someone who is trying to be a speaker, but as someone who is one. Carry this identity with you lightly and confidently. It does not mean you will never feel a flutter of nerves again. It means you know exactly what to do with that energy. It means you have a process you trust. You are a speaker. Say it to yourself. Believe it. The next time you are asked to speak, you will feel a familiar readiness, a sense of, I know how to do this. You will walk to the front of the room not as an imposter but as yourself, ready to share, connect, and contribute. The journey is complete. The mic is yours. Go use it. Conclusion: the mic is always yours. Look how far you have come. You started this journey likely feeling that public speaking was a mountain you had to climb, fraught with fear and discomfort. Now, you stand at the summit with a new perspective. You see that it was never a mountain to be conquered, but a skill to be learned, a room to be entered, a conversation to be had. The nerves have not vanished, but you have made them your allies, the energy that sharpens your focus and fuels your passion. The tricks have become truths. The safety nets have become springboards. You now possess a reliable process, from the morning of routine to the final landing, that transforms uncertainty into confident action. You are not a different person, but you are a more empowered version of yourself, one who knows that your voice has value and deserves to be heard. This is not the end of your journey. It is a beautiful new beginning. Every meeting, every gathering, every chance to connect is an opportunity to practice your craft. The mic is not just the one on a stage. It is any moment you choose to speak with purpose and presence. Carry the identity of a speaker with you. Seek out those moments, big and small, to share your ideas and stories. Remember the feeling of connection when you see someone's eyes light up with understanding. That feeling is now something you can create, and it is a gift both to your audience and to yourself. You have learned to trick your brain, and in doing so, you have set your true voice free. The world is waiting to hear what you have to say. Step forward and speak with joy.